Greetings and welcome. Je suis Guylene de l'Agence Daily, and today we are sitting here with Mr. Thomas Eugene. And I love to bring people that are doing great things in the community so you could get to know them, support them, and also see how you can feel and get your inspiration from their own stories. So, today, while you're watching the Guylene Berry Show, I would like to have a conversation here with Mr. Eugene, Thomas Eugene, what he does and how he started doing what he's doing. So I met him at an event getting an award for the works that he does in the community. Then when I was listening to all the things that he's doing in life in South Florida and around the world, I'm like, this is someone that I would love to inspire other people, other parents, other Caribbean people, other Black people, other people that want to make a difference in the world. So today, please help me welcome my guest, Mr. Thomas Eugene, and make sure that you let other people know about this man right here as he shares his stories with us. And remember to be part of what we are doing. Subscribe to our channel, Berry Network, like Agence Daily, Berry Network. So, Mr. Eugene, I met you. I'm like, this is a young Haitian man doing great things and empowering people. And with the work that you're doing, I was like, I gotta sit down with you and see how other people can get inspired with the work that you're doing. So, welcome to the Guylene Berry Show. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, first of all, Madame Guylene, I am 100% flattered. I'm honored. I'm actually feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Like,
No?
yeah, I feel a little bit overwhelmed because the way you present me is like, hey, here's this guy, as if I have a superhero cape behind me that with the letter H for Haiti, and I'm coming to South Florida and saving everybody. But I'm truly honored, and I respect what you do, and the work that you do is called heart work, not hard work. And thank you for providing us a platform to inspire people and to make a difference. And so when I think about using platforms, having the opportunity to work in professional sports and entertainment, that only gave me the platform to have the microphone to be able to speak to others about what I do. And hopefully that can make change and where you live your life purposefully each and every day.
I know we had the conversation about what is it that you do, but I would like for you to tell our audience, what do you do and how you're doing it?
Okay, sure. So I started my own company. It's called Connect Pro 360, where I connect everyday people to business, sports, and entertainment. It's a business development firm focusing specifically with small and minority-owned companies that have a product or service that they want to introduce to stadium, ballparks, and arenas. So when you think about it, when you think about major brands, like let's say Pepsi, Ford, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, or ESPN, they have these huge marketing firms that represent them at the stadiums, at the ballparks, and at the arenas. But what about the small mom and pop companies who have a phenomenal, just as good of a product, but they don't know how to get it into the doors? So I leverage my 15 years working in professional sports to open the stores for you. So that's one vertical of Netball 360. The other piece of Netball 360 is that I work with international students and student athletes from overseas that would like an opportunity to come to America, and we help them through the admission process of colleges and universities. And hopefully we get an opportunity to land them on a sports team with those specific colleges and universities. And most important, get an opportunity for them to be enrolled as well. The last piece, which I find to be something of critical concern, is working with college students that are majoring in sports management. Getting into sports is not something that's easy. It's not easy to do. And I can say that by experience. I worked, I remember my first opportunity, I applied to work in professional sports 3 times over a span of a year and a half. And each time they turned down, each time they turned down. And because of the help and connections I had in the business world, working with people from the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, specifically, I call him my mentor. Nowadays, I call him Unc. It's my good friend, Eric Knowles. And Eric Knowles said, man, give me your resume. Let me see if I could put in the hands of the right person.
Interesting.
Yeah. And 2 weeks later, I get a phone call to come in for a job interview. Little did I know. So, because this was going to be my 3rd or 4th time interviewing, I did something a little bit different. I sat in my car and I prayed for about 15 minutes. I said, Lord, absolutely. I said, Lord, if this is your will, allow me to get a job with the Miami Dolphins. And I went into the interview, I did my part, and a week and a half later, they called me up and said, "We want to welcome you. We want to extend an offer for you to come work with the Miami Dolphins." And I was there for 12 years. I was there for 12 years by the help of God and by having great network of business associates, whether it be with chamber, whether it be with nonprofit organizations, whether it be with business associations. I was able to be one of the top associates, top sellers with the Miami Dolphins at that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now you're saying that you felt like I introduced you like you are a superhero, and you're opening doors to other young men that want to be part of the sports industry. You know what that means? That means you're creating a lasting legacy, not just for them, but also for them to be able to open doors for their families and other people that they know. And hopefully they will help other people, like you had someone mentor you and help you to be where you are today.
Well,
So, yes.
Yeah, well, so you brought up a very good point. And what I realized is that we don't have those opportunities every day. So my business, what I do, I put people in positions where they could get those opportunities through internships, whether it be with a hot team, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, so on and so forth, give them those opportunities. So it's very important that we create those platforms. And being of Haitian descent, I was born in Haiti.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm original Haitian. Yeah. I was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and growing up in South Florida as a Haitian resident, attending sporting events was not a thing. I didn't attend my first professional sporting event until I was out of college. And at that time, I never knew that a person could have a career in professional sports.
That is amazing. So, how did you get started? Why did you choose this to be a professional, to choose a profession to be in the sports industry? Because so many times people don't see where people start, but they see where they are and want to just be part of where they are. So, how did you get started?
Well, my passion in sports and entertainment started when I was in college. I went to the University of Florida, the Fighting Gators, and I remember walking through the lobby and I saw an office that says Student Government Production. And I was just walking around and they looked at me and said, "Hey, come here." I said, "Hey." He's like, "You want to be part of this organization?" I said, "What do you guys do?" "Well, we put concerts together, we put events together for the students." I said, "Yes." And ever since then, I fell in love with it. But again, I never knew that you could have a career in it. And so I've enjoyed that passion, but as I got, it was fun. And what I did is that I turned fun into a purpose.
Yeah.
And one of my mentors, we passed away a few years ago. His name is Jason Jenkins.
Yes, I knew him.
Yeah, he was my mentor at the Dolphins. And the work that he did, it's just phenomenal work because he used the shield of the National Football League. He used the shield of the Miami Dolphins to create change in the community.
Amazing.
To create change in the community, to make sure that we are able to level the playing field for all of us, right? Because sports is an opportunity that we all can get involved with, but how do you use sports to change the community? And one experience, there's been several, but one experience that 100% changed me from my perspective is the time that Haiti suffered that major Hurricane Matthew, I believe. And when it devastated the country, and Jason put together a proposal, and he reached out to me. He said, "Hey man, I'm putting together a group of people, a group of employees, so he can go to Haiti."
Oh, wow.
And I really thought that the work we do at the Miami Dolphins starts and stops in Miami-Dade County. But Jason's foresight and vision was like, no, if we could impact the world, let's go ahead and do it. And the other thing too, a lot of Caribbean people love football, right? They love sports. And so,
Well, in Haiti, we call it rugby.
right, okay.
Now we call it football because we have become so Americanized.
Oh, 100%. And I tell you, that was the paradigm shift for me, having the ability to get on the plane and be part of a group of employees that volunteered their time to go to Haiti. It wasn't a private jet. We flew a commercial plane. We got to Haiti, and one of the first things I did is that I kissed the ground of my ancestors when I got to Haiti, and we did 3 major things. 4 of them. One, we had opportunity to visit the U.S. Embassy in Haiti. Amazing opportunity. Number 2, we visit a water purification plant, and that gave us, and we didn't just visit, but we donated supplies. So we make sure that the Haitian people have purified water. And on top of that, we also went to one of very few patient hospitals in Port-au-Prince, and we donated a generator, we donated a massive X-ray machine, and I had an opportunity to see those kids and the parents that were getting help. And then the last place that we went to a school. Went to a school, and Jason was speaking. We had the translator, and Jason introduced me, and I got up and I started speaking in Creole. But Miss Berry, the moment that my life changed was looking at those eyes was looking at the eyes of those boys and girls, because they all look just like me. And we donated backpacks, we donated school supplies, we did a lot of work in a short period of time, and that's when I realized that we can actually use sports to change lives, and not just as an employee of the sports team, but also how does the sports team change the community? Whether it's the Miami Dolphins haven't won the Super Bowl in a very, very long time, but we are champions in the community and beyond.
That is amazing, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Not just in our community,
Yeah.
but beyond our community. And you travel a lot.
Yeah.
You want to work. You are apparently working with international skiers
Correct.
to open doors for them in the sports industry.
Yeah.
And the work that you're doing in your organization and other organization, just amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Use it while you can to help you use your candid purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have the abilities,
Yeah.
we have the creativities, and we have the knowledge,
Yeah.
but we are not letting God use it. And
Yeah.
here it is that you're doing so many great things that I even know a little bit, but that all. And when I hear how you are impacting our community,
Yeah.
I would love to have you back on this show and continuing to work together in helping our youth, because what's the meaning of us reading and then we're not taking other people with us? And I see that you're doing just that in the community.
Well,
And-
I don't mind coming back under one condition.
Yeah.
That we do it in front of a plate of bon appetit.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
You
choose some
know-
Creole, banana press.
No,
They
no
want-
Creole.
no Creole? Okay.
Tasso,
Tassel?
Tassel.
Tassel then or tassel's fish?
both. Both. But the thing is, like, I'll focus on eating the food rather than talking to you.
You know, what about your fed first? And
Okay.
we'll get to the
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, I had a look forward to push move.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is South Florida. So we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back because we have this amazing person living life and giving back. I love that because we know that we want to really leave a strong legacy. It's gotta go beyond ourselves, our pockets, or what we only want for ourselves. And thank you for the work that you're doing. You're watching the Guylene Show. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Welcome back. You're watching the Guylene Show. And as you already know, we were having a good conversation here, and we are still having a great conversation with Mr. Thomas Eugene. That is doing great work in the community. And sometimes you see people, you don't know how they are making an impact, a lasting impact into our community. And you know, I just love it when I see someone investing in our youth, our children, the future, you know, the leaders of tomorrow. So my next question to you, Mr. Eugene, is, you know, working with youth, since we have a lot of parents watching us today, how do you see them evolving these days? And our parents, what should we learn from you as a man, as a male here, trying to help our young people?
Well, that's a challenge. That's like the biggest challenge ever is like, how do you see them evolving? And with the infant of like social media, it's almost as if social media is doing the job for you, but not always in a positive way. So it's important to put time limits on technology, right? Or how do we curve technology so that way it could be geared towards something possible, right? Those things are critical. And I think, you know, when parents spend quality time with their child, not just at home, but visiting a child at school. We all have an hour lunch break a day. How about using that 1 hour to go into school per week, having lunch with your child, maybe catch up with one of the teachers. And I think those kind of positive habits let the child know, like, okay, mom and dad are super, super engaged in my well-being academically and socially. And I think if we focus on that, and you know how they say in Haiti, the 3 L's, they're called la l'église, right? So when you have those three balance and you have those three variables, it helps create a healthy balance and ensuring that you're giving your child the best opportunity to succeed.
I love that. Actually, there is something you just said that resonates with me when my kids were younger. So I would go to the open house.
Yep.
Every year. I mean, I go every lunchtime.
Yeah.
but I will get to know who's gonna be my children's teachers, and I will introduce myself to them and give them my numbers and listen to them what they're expecting for their students to do to better perform. And they got my attention. Because, and I got their attention. Because I show them that I care for how I support them in educating my children. So if you're a parent, make sure that you go to the open houses before school starts, because that's the best way to really get involved and know who's gonna be your children's teachers. Because in the beginning, I was not really into doing all this, but when I started doing it, I saw how much it impacted my children's lives and my life. However, teenagers, they can be tricky, so make sure that you're involved.
Oh yeah, but don't be too hard on yourself either, because as the child evolves, so does the parents, right? Like there's no handbook on how to be a great parent. The only handbooks that we have is watching how our parents, raised us. And that may not always be like the best way, but it's their only way. And as I gotten older, I realized that I have to give my parents a grace, right? Because they didn't necessarily do things all the right ways, but they do things from the standpoint of surviving and not thriving.
Surviving and not thriving. And so many times parents have to do things to make sure that they're surviving. And in our community, a lot of parents are on survival mode. And sometimes you probably judge them as a person, not understanding where they're coming from, the struggle that they have to go through, because they have a family here, they have a family in Haiti, and now with how the world is changing, they are worrying so much, but they still have to keep peace in the house. So it can be very challenging for parents nowadays. And what do you talk to your children about? Because you don't want to give them the burden of the insecurities that you have also in life. And
yeah, I think we need to think about life from the standpoint of like generational transformation, right? So when I think about generational transformation, I think about my parents leaving Haiti. That's a generational transformation.
Right.
And now my generation, me, how am I going to create a generational transformation? Going to college and getting a college degree, right? And I'm hoping that my kids from their generational transformation will be, hey, we have created generational wealth. We are good, and they're giving back to Haiti, right? So we got to think about, it could be one thing, it could be a multitude of things. It could be something where you're going to start something new, or you're going to change and adapt, right? Like we used to think that getting a spanking was always the right way. Generational transformation is like, no, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to go to counseling. I'm going to go to parenting classes. So what can we do to create that change?
And you just said something, you see me smiling, and you're talking about generational wealth. And I think one of the things in our community that we should start thinking, walking, and being about it is generational health. Because I've worked in the health industry, in the healthcare industry. I am not a doctor or nurse or anything. I just
play one on TV.
I am in the insurance industry. And so many times I may not be aware of everything going on, but I see how important it is to have to take care of our health. And sometimes we get involved in making sure that we invest in our health, sometimes when it's too late. So creating a lasting legacy also has to do with our health. So for the people watching now, what can you tell them about physical health and wellness? Because too many times we see people losing their lives, losing their wealth because they are not taking care of their health.
Well, I struggled a lot. Earlier we talked about my accolades. We talked about the things I've been doing in the community. But the truth is, like, you would think, okay, this guy's successful. But the truth of the matter is, when I was growing up, I stuttered a lot, and I still do every once in a while. So I had to go speech there. When I was in elementary, junior high school, and high school, being a Haitian kid growing up in Miami, I used to be bullied a lot. So that was a challenge. Going to college at University of Florida, my GPA was not high enough for me to graduate from college. And going to get a job in the NFL, I got turned down many times. So I say that to say that it's your failures that lead to success. But when you think about other obstacles, the other variables that help you lead to success is practicing positive affirmation, creating a network of people that you can trust. Sometimes we focus on who's in our circle, but sometimes we gotta focus on who's in our corner. Sometimes we gotta focus on who's part of our amen corner, right? So I have friends, I have family members, I have colleagues that I've met along the way. They're like, Thomas, I believe in you. They may not even say that, but they will say, how can I help you? And then other times I may have random people that I have friends that call me at random times during the day just to check up on. So I did a lot of praying. I walk by faith. I work out. I go to the gym. At the same time, I love my soft spot. I do. So life is about having a good balance, right?
Exactly.
By having a good balance. So once you're able to make sure that you keep God, because God is gonna walk you through that journey, right? I always believe that we could go fast alone, or we could go further together. And I want to commend you. I want to commend you for what you're doing. You're not doing this to receive the accolade or an award or anything, but I want to thank you for providing people that look like me with a platform to speak to larger these people,
Yeah.
and to speak from a point of experience and growth. I still have a lot of growing to do, but I want to thank you for that.
And I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with you and share your wealth of information and inspiring us. I got inspired. However, I know that you have a business, and if you're watching this video, if you're watching this show, the Guylene Dairy Show, we sit down with people like him, like Mr. Thomas Eugene, that's doing great work in the community. We have an archive, because so many times I don't feel comfortable talking about myself, but I feel comfortable talking to other people that are doing great things in the community, because we each have a gift, the gift of life, and also understanding that we are growing older. What legacy are we leaving here while we are here, while we are still alive, while we are still able to make a difference, to make a change? He's doing his part. I'm doing my part. And I hope you're doing your part. One way that you can contribute to the work that we are doing is to share what we are doing here today, a Berry Network. Or as we are doing this, let someone else know about how we are connecting with our community. He has a beautiful business farm.
Connect Pro 360. You can find me on my website, connectpro360.com, or you could go on LinkedIn, Connect Pro 360, Instagram, Connect Pro 360, or Thomas Eugene on LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Je suis Guylene de l'Agence Dairy. Until next time, may God bless you. And also, live your God-giving purpose while you can. Don't let the things that you cannot do stop you for doing the things that you can do.